Hey, hi, hello. So remember when I said I was going to a wedding? Well, I went, and here's the update on wedding tea. If you've been here before, you know weddings in my world aren't just events. They're emotional roller coasters, informal wear, with a splash of religious tension and a pinch of personal crisis. In this one, buckle in. Let's set the scene. I was supposed to go to Riley's wedding, and after being rejected by Casey, a guy friend I'm definitely trying to get closer to, and I'm definitely failing with, and Elia, one of my best friends, off frolicking in Ohio, I ended up asking my brother Blaze to be my plus one. Now, Blaze is the kind of brother who will throw on a button down, silently judge your outfit choices with love, and emotionally support you while you spiral over wedding logistics and existential dread. A real one, but more on that later. Here's the thing about Riley's wedding. Her religion does weddings differently. There's a private, early morning wedding that no one is allowed to attend to unless you're VIP family or God himself. Then there's the family lunch. Then there's a party for us peasants. Now the invite said 7 p.m. When I asked, the bride said 5, and the maid of honor said the ceremony was at 11 a.m. That's 3 different times. 3 for 3 intertwining events. It was like a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside of a group chat that no one checked. 2 of which I had asked for weeks with no response, and the other becoming obsolete information. So naturally, I panic. I drag my slightly sleep-deprived brother with me to the venue early, trying to be an overachieving friend who doesn't miss the big moment. We walked around for 30 minutes, no people, no answers, just 2 overdressed siblings wandering a spiritual wasteland looking for God's gift in a posse of people. The maid of honor, radio silent. Blaze, regretting his life choices. Me, sweaty, anxious, and one emotional bump away from turning into a human puddle. And then I get a call. We're in the north lot. I'm on the opposite side of the building. Of course I am. I break into a full-on Olympic sprint, holding my skirt like I'm Cinderella late for trauma. My brother is trailing behind and catching up in a flash. I get there just in time to be told over the phone that it's over. We're leaving. Cue the mental credits rolling. And yes, Blaze is still standing behind me, quietly absorbing the chaos like a human emotional support towel. At that point, I start spiraling so hard. I was halfway convinced that this was a setup. Like, was I not supposed to come? Was this some kind of spiritual gaslighting ritual? Did I stumble into a metaphysical prank show hosted by God? I went home and did dishes in my $150 blue dress like a Victorian ghost with unresolved wedding trauma. My hair was still curled. My makeup was still on. All I needed was candlelight and a piano to complete the aesthetic. I kept thinking, would skipping the reception make me a villain? Spoiler, no. But also maybe. It depends on who's writing the script and how dramatic they're feeling that day. Still, this was a $150 dress. My aunt hemmed it. My bank account cried for it. I wasn't about to let this full ensemble go to waste. So I told Blaze the plan. He dropped me off at 5, picked me up at 7 unless I texted SMAP. Save my ass, please. Our sacred sibling rescue code, forged in the fires of childhood and mutual trauma, and shared phone plans. No SMAP was used, but let's be honest, I probably should have used it. That whole evening was just a polite social horror movie in slow motion. So I get dropped off at what looks like a dreamy garden maze straight out of a Pinterest mood board. So pink. Meanwhile, I'm still in my $150 blue dress, giving very much sad Disney princess got stood up at the ball. Confused, I ask a group of kind strangers if I'm in the right place. They gasp, compliment my dress like I'm walking a red carpet, and then go, honestly, if you're lost, just crash our wedding. You look too good not to be at one. Angels. Actual angels. And in that moment, it hit me. I felt more invited to this random couple's wedding than to Riley's. Eventually, I found the actual venue. It's less pink, less magical, and less welcoming. Like I got there and instantly felt like I had to apologize for existing in HD. I think the maid of honor tried to make it up to me. She stuck by my side, handed me a corsage and emotional band-aid, and smiled through the chaos like she was hosting a game show for dysfunction. My theory, she gave me the wrong time on purpose. Damage control. Because she originally invited me to the private wedding ceremony. Oops. And then realized Riley was not down with that. So instead of uninviting me like a normal person, she sent me on a long side quest. I'm not mad. I just noticed. So there I am, standing at this intimate family-only event, surrounded by pastel strangers, asking what side of the family I'm on. Me? Neither. Them? Ha ha, okay, but like, which side? Me? Neither. Them's. Oh, so the groom's side? What I wanted to say was, ma'am, please, I've known Riley since junior high. I'm not a long-lost cousin. I am just a girl in a blue dress trying not to spiral while you interrogate me like I'm smuggling deviled eggs in my clutch. In reality, I calmly explained, with my RBF showing, that I had been Riley's friend since junior high and was not a family member for like the 6th time. And as I stood there being quizzed like I was on Family Feud, Wedding Edition, the other wedding, the more dreamy pink one, full of friendly strangers and free compliments, was starting to look more and more like the right choice. Like, do I go back? Would they notice? Would they even miss me? Because honestly, I was 2 weird questions away from grabbing a slider off of someone's plate and just running straight back into the arms of my new Pinterest people. To be fair, there were nice moments. I got to see Riley smile. She looked genuinely happy, like Disney Princess Sparkle happy. And for a second, I was too. Even if I disagreed with her marrying so young, even if I had 1 foot out of the friendship door like 2 hours earlier, like do I Irish goodbye or just vanish into the hedge maze, I was still glad she was having her moment. But the vibe was off, like microwaved fish in an office break room kind of off. Then I met Riley's childhood friend, we'll call her Penny, and their partner, who looks like they were about 5 seconds from faking a medical emergency just to escape. I said hi and they blinked, like I was the first person to make eye contact with them in an hour, and somehow we clicked. Turns out they also felt like accidental party crashers. When I mentioned I used to be in the same religion, they just nodded slowly like, oh, you get it. That look, that shared sigh, that was it. They were thinking of leaving too, and they even told me that if they hadn't met me, they would have dipped out early, and that broke something in me, just a little. Because here's the thing, I used to belong here. No questions, no weird looks, no existential crisis hiding in the punch bowl. And that night, I felt the shift. That quiet, seismic crack you don't notice until suddenly you're standing on a different plate entirely. I finally understood what my siblings meant when they said that leaving the religion wasn't just leaving. It was tectonic. It was drifting. And it was waking up one day realizing you don't speak the same language anymore. And no one even noticed you stopped talking. I had been holding that door open for Riley, for that one last connection. But standing there in that too quiet room with Penny and their partner low-key eyeing the exits, I realized the chapter had already ended. I just hadn't turned the page yet. When Blaze came to pick me up, I felt lighter. Like I could finally breathe without my lungs filing a complaint. We grabbed fast food because nothing says emotional recovery like fries and made sarcastic jokes about glow sticks. Yes, the other wedding had glow sticks and dancing and probably actual serotonin. Did I go? No. Do I regret it? Absolutely. But also, I was peopled out. Socially bankrupt. My introvert card was throbbing in the back pocket like a bad Yelp review. Oh, and remember the cute younger brother I was curious about? Turns out, he's abroad, just like his older brother was when he met Riley. Full circle irony activated. Honestly, it felt like the kind of detail an author throws in to signal the symbolic closure, like the universe put a little bow on the plotline and whispered, "We're done here, babe." And maybe that's exactly what it was. The last grain of sugar before the icing made me sick. The final paragraph in a chapter I kept trying to edit, footnote, and red pen into something it wasn't. I'm done. It's time to put the book back on the shelf and check out a new one. But if anyone has leftover glow sticks, I'd still take them. P.S. If you made it this far, treat yourself to something sugary and unnecessarily fancy. Bonus points if it's got frosting, flair, or both. Or take a nap. Honestly, you've been through enough. Got any dessert recommendations? Ever gotten lost at a wedding? Almost needed to text smack to your sibling from a parking lot? Tell me everything. I collect chaotic moments like party favors. If you want to help fund more emotionally fraught event stories and my ongoing caffeine dependency, you can tip your local blogger, podcaster, and former bridesmaid turned field reporter at Cash App, $Real Life Blog. It's like tipping your barista, but instead of getting foam hearts, You get dramatic exits and venue confusion and the spiritual whiplash of uninvited feelings. Thanks for keeping the chaos alive, one sip at a time.